Okay, so the first card you've got for your past is this Hanged Man. So obviously this is holding back, waiting. I want to come forward, but I can't. I'm just going to hold back. There's a bit of tension. I've got to say, it does feel quite tense here. So, and you've got the Queen of Cups right under this as well. So there's tension, there's holding back, and there's emotion. Very, very emotional. Someone feels very emotional. So it's like someone who has regrets about you. There's lots of regrets here. So there's someone here. You're not around anymore. Some kind of breakup probably, because there's love here, because you've got the Ace of Cups here. They feel very, very, very emotional about you when they think about you. They're thinking about you, they're feeling about you, they've got all these memories about you. They're afraid to come forward with the Hanged Man. They're afraid to come and talk to you. Just if you look at the Queen of Cups, she's holding this cup, but she's holding it by the base. And you wouldn't normally hold a cup like that. You'd hold it by the handles or the stem. But she's holding it by the base. Because if she held the handles, look at the handles, they're like spiky, pointy, horrible things. So, because if I went to hold that cup, it would hurt my hands. I'd hurt myself. I'd cut myself maybe. So I think that might be one of the reasons why they're holding back, maybe, because they think, oh, if I come forward, they're going to reject me, and I'll be hurt, I'll be cut, I'll be hurt. That's kind of what I'm getting. Maybe they'll be spiky, maybe they'll be angry. I don't want to hurt myself, but I'm compelled to come forward because I have love for this person, but I'm afraid as well. So very, very mixed up energies, lots of emotion. They're really, really feeling it at this time. And I know this is in the past, but I'm getting that very immediate energy. So it feels like it's happening right now. And yeah, they want to be close to your heart. They want to be close to your heart. This is the Queen of Hearts. That's what the Queen of Cups is. Yeah, they're okay, I don't know if this is going to make sense, but I'm getting that phrase, what goes around comes around. Not in a kind of a vindictive way, not in a karma kind of way, but it's more like, yeah, there was one time when you were with them that you had more emotion for them, you had more feeling for them, you had super strong feelings for this person, you wanted this to work, you had more feelings than they had at one time. They were more like, well, yes, I love them, but but you were like, no, I want this to work, this is going to work. And because they were a little bit more down in their emotions than you, not down in their emotions, but you had more emotion for this connection than they did at one time. So you put more of the work in, you put yourself in, you did everything. It was like, I want this to work, I'm getting that, I want this to work, I want this to work, I'm going to make this work, I'm going to make this work, I love this person. And if you look at this Queen, she's totally focused on this cup. And so you were focused on the love, you were focused on what you had with them. And your heart was focused. But, that's why it didn't work, because you gave more than they did in the end. You gave more than they did. They treated you in some very bad way. They have a lot of regrets. I don't know what they did, but they did something that really hurt you. And, then there's this separation here. They really, really, really do regret that. But they're afraid to come anywhere near you because they're afraid that they're going to be hurt. And rightly so, because I think they really did hurt you. I'm picking up on that, I should say. Okay, I'm getting some kind of, I'm getting this, I'm trying, I want this to work. I tried and I tried and I tried. And I think that's what you did. You gave them all these chances. I'm seeing a deadline. It's like, I'll give them up until this time. I'll tell them, this is what I want you to do. I want you to show me this. Show me that you care. Show me this thing. And I'll give... And I think you might have said in your head, okay, I'll give them up to this time. If they haven't changed by this time, that's it. They didn't change. I think maybe you might have even given them another deadline, another one again, ultimatums. I'm seeing that because I'm seeing you kind of give them a chance after chance after chance. And then it was like, no more. You're really, really patient. You're a patient person. Cancer is very loving, very caring, very nurturing, and extremely patient. But once that's gone, once you've kind of over that line, that's it. that's it. And now there's no way you go back to that kind of behavior again. At one time, I think you would have kept on waiting, hoping, forgiving. You're a very forgiving person. But now that you've gotten through that and you're looking back on that, I'm just looking down at the moon card. And if you look at the moon card, there are these two watchtowers. I'll just lift it up so you can see there's two watchtowers. Watchtowers represent looking back over things. So you can see, look at those little windows in the watchtowers. So say if you're up in those watchtowers, you can look back over the whole scene and you can see everything. So I think looking back, you're realizing, no, I was giving and giving and giving. I wanted them. I did everything for them. You might have cried over them. There are tears coming down there as well. But no more. No more. I'm not going to do that anymore. So yeah, with the moon card, I may as well talk about that now because I already have anyway. Yeah, you can see that again. The moon card's all about very deep emotions, and it's right under this Queen of Cups. So very deep emotions. And not, sometimes the moon card can be about emotions that aren't very rational. So it might be that they've gone right over into not thinking very clearly, very rationally. In severe cases, it might even be tipping into mental health category. Maybe it doesn't have to, but sometimes the moon card can be that. And when people are very emotional and stressed, that can happen. So it's a possibility. So yeah, I keep on getting this helper. That's the word I'm getting, help. And that's you. You're the helper. You're the helper. So you were the helper in this relationship. You gave to them, you gave and you gave. And you're the helper in other situations in your life too, with all kinds of different people, all different areas. You're the giver, you're the helper. That's what I'm getting. Okay, a lot of these people you've helped don't deserve that. And I think you're seeing that now because you're looking back out of these watchtowers. You're looking back over your life or your work, because this is in the past. And you're realizing, no, I've been the giver here in this relationship with other people. I've given and I've given. And so now I'm getting this, you might be streamlining your life. You might be kind of eliminating a lot of those things. You might actually be cutting out people. You might not be. You might just be cutting out saying yes to everyone, helping everyone, being that person that's always there. I think, now you're going to start to leave that to other people because you've already given more than your fair share to everyone. I'm really feeling that, and that's what Cancer does. They're so helpful. They're so caring. They're so emotional. They really feel for people and they want to help them. And so I'm seeing this big change here. And also just looking over the Ace of Cups, that's about that as well. That's about a big process of change. Yeah, I'm seeing someone quite specific that you helped actually. This might be a relative. This might be someone younger than you, might be a sibling, might even be your child, an adult child if you're older. And I think this is someone, it might not be for everyone, this is quite specific once again. You helped someone, you did something practical for someone. Maybe you gave them money. There might have been money involved in this because you've got the Two of Pentacles right next to this. And that's kind of an imbalance of money. So you might have helped someone in a practical way with money. You gave them care. I'm seeing that. I think you gave this person advice. I think you gave them advice and I think they didn't appreciate that advice. I'm getting that. I'm telling you this because I love you. I'm telling you this because I want to help you. I'm here to help you. And I just don't think they appreciated you. And I'm seeing this because when I look at this moon card, you've got this path. And, this lobster's just determined to go down this path. And I think they were determined to go down the path they went down. They didn't listen to you. And again, with these watchtowers, I think what's going to happen is eventually they're going to look back on this time. They're going to look back on the conversation you had with them, if this is you. And they're going to be like, well, no, actually, they said that because they cared about me. I can see that now. Sometimes people only see that by going through the lessons themselves. Sometimes you can tell people and they'll listen to you. But some people, you can't tell. You can't tell them. They've got to learn it for themselves. I think that's what's happening here. They are going to learn that. So if you're really worried about someone, if this is you, if you're thinking, oh, what's happened to them? They should have listened to me. They're going to get in all kinds of trouble and I'm really worried. If you've got that about someone, you've got that feeling, they are going to turn around. This is going to turn around for you. They're going to realize you were right. I think they're going to come back and talk to you. I think they're going to come and tell you that in some way, whatever way they would normally tell you. So don't stress too much about this. Yes, they are going to learn a hard lesson. They are. They're going to learn a very hard lesson. But I think they'll be a better person for that. So I hope that helps someone as well, because there's a lot of worry in this card. Look at that moon. Look at how he's worrying. Look at the face. Okay. All right, so the first card you've got for your present is this beautiful Ace of Cups. Beautiful, emotional, full of emotions. Cup flooding over with emotions. So we've got some tears here as well. And you could see in the moon card there were some tears coming down. So again, this person is going to go through, this person that didn't follow your advice, they're going to go through this process. That's what this can be about, a process, an emotional process. So they're going to have to learn this themselves. They're learning that. They're going to come around at some time. They're going to turn this around and they're going to come and talk to you. And what they'll realize is, because I think they thought, oh, they're just telling me what to do, I'm not going to listen to them. What they're going to realize is that advice came from love from you, pure love, because that's what this card's about, pure love. And they're going to realize that's where their advice came from. It comes from love. It comes from love. So they're going to see that. So this might be someone who's a little bit immature and might be a teenager or someone, and they grow up, or might be just someone with an immature attitude. I know that sounds horrible, but I'm seeing that. And they grow up through this process. So that's what's going to happen if that's you. Okay, the other thing I just want to say is this person I'm talking about now, just so I'm not confusing things, this is a separate person from the love connection in the Hanged Man. This is a totally separate person. This is a platonic love that you have for someone, a very pure, innocent kind of love. And the other person was a more romantic connection. Okay, so and you know, you really do have a lot of love for this person. That's why you're so worried about them if this is you. It's like they're my own child. I have love for them like they're my own child. That's why I don't want them to hurt themselves. I don't want them to go out into the world and hurt themselves. But sometimes you can't stop that. They just need to go and learn their own lessons. So that's what I'm getting there with that card. Yeah, beautiful, very pure. I'm really feeling the pure energy of this card. Very, very, very pure. I think this is about you going through something in yourself as well, because I was getting all this leaving the past behind, leaving the users behind, leaving the people that took from you behind. No more of that. You're getting past that. And I think that's what this process is about for you in this card. Yeah, it's interesting. This is what I'm getting a handle on your emotions, getting a handle on your life. Maybe you don't feel as if you're getting a handle on your life, because I'm seeing lots of little problems that are happening. It's like, oh, one thing after the other. That's happening, that's wrong. I don't feel as if I'm getting a handle over things. I'm not in control of things. You actually are, or you're heading that way. Sometimes getting to the right destination means that you have to go through some bad things first. Sometimes you have to go through the bad before you get to the good. So if that's you, you are getting to the right place. And you're heading toward a place where you're going to feel a lot more in control of things in your life. And I've got this feeling that maybe you haven't felt that way for a while, and you're going to get that. You know, look at this card. Just have a look at this card, the Ace of Cups. I'm just looking at this. This is the first time I've seen this. The cup is in the palm of the hand. So that if you look at the palm of your hand, just look at the palm of your hand right now, it's quite small if you're a small person. And if you think of a cup fitting into that palm, it's quite small. So the hand's really big compared to the cup, and it's underneath the hand, holding it by the base. And so it's like my emotions are going to be in the palm of my hand. I'm going to get a handle on my emotions. I'm going to get a handle on my life. And so I think that's what you're coming into. That's what you're working towards. So if you're going through this big turmoil, time of turmoil, and maybe emotional problems and other problems, just know that you're coming out of that and you're coming into a point where you're going to have a handle on things. And, the other thing here is with that process of saying goodbye to, people who've used you, these drains, these people who've taken from you, and you've given, you've helped, you're the helper. Just look at all this water pouring down. I'm just looking at that. It looks like you've poured all of your emotions, all your energy, everything into all these other people. And now you're starting to pour that back into yourself. So you're starting to love yourself. You're starting to fill yourself up. And that's where that strength's coming from. And that's where that handle over your life and that, that control over your life is coming from. It comes from a place of you loving yourself. And you're going to be protecting yourself from any people in the future that are going to kind of try and take from you or drain you. That is going to happen. You're going to put a stop to all that. And look at the death card as well. I may as well talk about that. It's right under this card. The death card is about putting a stop to things, putting death to things. You're going to put death to the old you that used to do things for people. I'm not saying you're not going to do anything for people, but do put too much into people, pour yourself into people. There's an end to that now. And now that is going to be poured into yourself. So really, really beautiful change that's happening. It's a process. It's not going to change in 1 second. It's a process that you're going through. So again, it feels to me like you may be going through this very difficult part of that process where you feel the opposite. Problems are happening one thing after the other. You're working your way through that. You're getting to the end of that. The other thing here is, okay, so I'm just looking at this and I'm looking at the Ace of Cups, that sequence once again. I'm just looking at all this water that's coming down over the cup. And then if you look at the Death card, just behind where, like there's a bishop or something like that, or a priest or something. And just in front of him, there's this horse. And just behind the white horse's head, you can see there's these two watchtowers and there's the sun coming up. And just under that, you might not be able to see this because it's a very messy card. There's all this water coming down, like a big, big waterfall. So it's almost like, and obviously water represents emotion. So what I'm seeing here is you had to let go. That's what death's about, letting go of the old. So you had to let go of that old love connection. You had to let go of those old emotions. They had to flow out of you like a big waterfall for you to make this change, for you to love yourself, for you to get to these two watchtowers with the sun coming up at the end. And that's when you get a handle over your life, over your emotions. That's when the sun comes out. So what this is saying is you had to say goodbye to that to let this new you, this new process come through. So I hope that makes sense to you. I know no one wants to go through that process of a breakup, but it was the right thing for you to go through. And if you don't see that now, you are going to see that once again when you look back over your life with those watchtowers. So I hope that makes sense to someone. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the Two of Pentacles now because the Two of Pentacles are following on from that. Okay, so up and down with the Two of Pentacles, balancing. I think there's a new love ahead of you. If you're single, obviously, that there's some new love ahead of you. Yeah, very interesting person, very unusual person. Look at this man in the Two of Pentacles. He looks a bit odd. And you've got this odd man, and then you've got the Fool card as well. The Fool's very, up in the future up there. So the Fool's very, very different, very unusual. He goes his own way, takes his own path. He doesn't listen to anyone else. He's different. And what some people might describe as, an oddball, someone who's not the norm. And you can see that again, as I was saying, in the Two of Pentacles. So I'm not saying you're going to fall for an oddball, but this is someone who's really, really, really different. Very, very different. And so it looks like you know, again, with this card, you've got this ex who wants to come to see you. They're afraid they're going to be hurt if they talk to you, that you're going to be angry or you reject them or something. So it looks like they might come back, because you've got this infinity symbol, which is, you know, about, yes, I'm going to come back. It's like a rubber band, pulling back and then coming back again, if that makes sense. You know, pulling away and coming back, I should say. So they are going to come back. You've got this new person in your future. And then you've got this third road you can go down, which is just being by yourself. So, and just looking across at the Three of Swords there, we've got love there, we've got these three swords. So these are the three ways you could go. So that's a decision you're going to make. Am I going to go and at least talk to this person again, this person in my past? Am I going to just be totally by myself? Or am I going to go with this new love, this very odd, different, I really like this new person, actually, I have to say. I'm getting a good feeling around them. But then I'm Aries, I'm the fool, so what can I say? Maybe they're Aries. But yeah, so you're going to have this three-way decision that you're going to have to make. And again, looking at the Three of Swords here, somebody might be hurt in this process, whatever you choose. So just get ready for that, because you've got, if you choose person A, person B might be upset. If you choose neither of them, one of them or both of them might be upset. So just think about that as well. Just think about how you're going to go about making that decision. Because it is up in front of you. There's a decision there. But again, you're getting your strength back, so you'll probably be a lot stronger by the time you have to make that decision. So I hope that makes sense to someone. Right, so, okay, so the first card you've got for your future is this fantastic Fool. This is what I'm getting with this Fool.